You don't think because of that scare? He certainly remembers how tight the Oregon State game was.
Mm-hmm.
Would it have been that tight if schemes started? Probably not.
No.
We don't know, but probably not. So, I mean, everything has to factor in. I mean, Dallas Baptist is likely to win their first game and be ready. A team that beat Texas during the course of the season.
And look,
it's no surprise they haven't gotten over the hump. They haven't been to Omaha, but they are and the same old. They're the way their park plays. They come in with very gaudy hitting statistics and shaky pitching numbers, but they're no slouch, and they're no surprise that they're in the field of 64. They're expected to be at this point.
Their number one pitcher up until about a month ago was Micah Bucknam, who pitched here in 23. And he's a kind of a seldom used reliever. He goes up there. He was running Friday nights for them up until about the beginning of May. Then he had an injury. He missed 3 weeks. They brought him back in the tournament, and he pitched 3 scoreless innings. He was their best guy. And when he left here, like I said, he was kind of a seldom used guy, but he had a ton of potential. We'll see. That's a good club. LSU's seen him. But pitching down is not. I got a little of this yesterday. You always throw your number one guy. No. And Skip did not always throw his number one guy. Skip coached 3 years in this format, and he held his ace in 2 of those years. The only reason he threw him in the other game was, you'll remember this one, Jimmy, Ainsworth against Sheets in 1999. Ben Sheets was pitching for Northeast Louisiana. He was a top 10 pick in the draft, and you couldn't pitch down against that guy.
No.
So they threw Ainsworth, and LSU won the game. The other 2 years, he pitched down. He held his guys. So it's, played either way, and LSU's a big favorite either way, but we'll see. I'm expecting Anderson.
Of the 16 number one seeds, what is the percent? About half and half throw their ace? Like, I don't think Oregon will, and they got a solid number 3.
Yeah,
but that 1-2 punch, I'll be shocked. They didn't throw them early. UCLA, in a game early. Look, UCLA was not a lock. They were going to host.
Yeah.
They made a run all the way to the conference tournament final. I mean, they pitched 9 guys in their first game, and
I would say half and half's a good,
half and half.
Good guess.
Let's try and keep it. So it is a decision. It is a decision, and 4s. Yeah, and there's from 4s that beat 1s. It's not like 16s versus 1s. In basketball, it's it's more common. But I'm trying to win a regional and not win one game.
Right.
Charlie, don't use your pocket knife to do the work of a rifle or a cannon.
I think you're going to be cannon fodder on Friday, but we'll see.
Hey, if we do, lay the 6.5 runs. Don't forget some of our great lunch menu items that we have over here. Completely different lunch menu that we have at Dozy Place that we have for all the dinner items, man. You come to dinner, we come get one of those steaks. Big old steak, man. I mean, hand cut daily, cooked to perfection. I mean, generous portions. This is a steakhouse, a casual steakhouse, man. Come as you are and enjoy it. It's nice and cool here. We keep that air conditioning rolling, boy, in the Crown Town room, and plenty of seating, and like little private rooms as well. Anyway, do like a little tin top in the front area. We're changing out some of our chairs over here, so kind of updating over here at Dozy Place. But the lunch menu is available Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Start with the sandwiches like the club. Our hamburgers are outstanding. 8-ounce ground steak, fully dressed on a brioche bun. You can doctor it up, cheese, bacon, onions, all these different type of aiolis, you name it. Chicken sandwiches, you get it fried, blackened, or grilled. That is outstanding. Our hot chicken sandwich, again, fried and dipped in Nashville-style hot buttered sauce with pickles and a ranch aioli on a buttery brioche bun. Po' boys, seafood po' boy, catfish, oysters, or shrimp. The debris po' boy, that's slow braised sirloin in a dark brown gravy. Meatball po' boy, the meatballs are a hidden secret over here. And our black and blue po' boy with the sliced steak and blue cheese. Chef salad, grilled steak salad. We've got a grilled shrimp salad as well. Plate lunches like the spaghetti and meatballs, the hamburger steak, the chicken fried steak that is as big as your head, and the fried catfish platter. Plenty of generous portions as always. Those Eat Place, our lunch menu. Let's pick it up. Certainly, come by. You can see what all the fuss is about over here. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Doe's on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City.
Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC. The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Tech, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross Tech exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center. All college football all year long. The Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Joe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Show's available on demand, LouisianaSports.net, 104.5ESPN.com. New Hennycast coming this afternoon on the regionals selections. Jimmy, looking at all of the other ones, let me see if you agree with me here. What's the toughest regional in your opinion out of all of the?
Clemson.
Yeah, me too. West Virginia is a 2 seed there, essentially won the Big 12. They finished in a tie with Kansas, but Kansas played 2 more games and then one more win and one more loss. West Virginia's winning percentage was slightly higher. So essentially a tie for the Big 12 title, but they had a little bit better winning percentage. Kentucky is a dangerous 3. I don't necessarily think they should have got in. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to let my SEC bias extend that far. You're 13 and 18 in the league with the tournament loss. You probably don't deserve to get in. They got in. They had room to spare. That's on the committee. Now that they're there, I think they're dangerous. They've got 3 solid starting pitchers. They don't have a Kyson Witherspoon necessarily up at the top of that thing, but I think they're very dangerous. I think Clemson has got all they can say grace over with that regional. I think Southern Miss also a capable Alabama team, a good offensive team. Great closer, but shaky bullpen besides that. And then Miami, who I thought kind of slumped a little bit down the stretch as a 3 seed is pretty good. And then Texas, I think you talked about UTSA for just a second there. Yeah, they blew through their conference schedule, and I think Kansas State is a way better than average 3 seed. So those were the ones that jumped out at me. And if you look by the numbers, LSU
by the numbers,
the
Tallahassee and Oxford were considered by some of the advanced statistics supposed to be 2 of the tougher regionals. So with Georgia Tech, now they avoided North Carolina and Florida State, but they still won the ACC last year. Their coach is retired, top 10 history, all-time wins. And they're 30-something years?
32 years for Danny Hall. Yeah.
Don't know much about Western Kentucky and Murray State, but Georgia Tech certainly capable. And then Northeastern is a kind of a huge unknown, a question mark. Todd Walker and I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I mean they shredded their competition, but how good is it?
They won 28. They're on a 28-game win streak, but they've only played 5 games in the Q1 all year, so they haven't lost a game in almost 2 months. But again, against what competition? Well, they were 2-3 against Q1, 6-2 against Q2, and 40-4 against Q3 and Q4.
And Mississippi State as a as a 3 seed. So, they kind of rallied a little bit with the interim coach, and not to say that they could not have duplicated those results had they held on to Lamanis. I think it's. I mean, hey man, handle your business how you want. I would have had to let Lamanis finish out the year, but I mean, hey, they got all the titles. I mean, they may say la vie. Shoot, I mean, man. But how many years ago? How many years removed from a national title?
3.
They won it right.
They won it in 22.
They won in 22. They won and. They won the year.
I'm sorry, they won it in 21.
Ole Miss
21. Ole Miss won in 22. LSU won in 23. Tennessee won in 24.
Ole Miss won the year after State.
They did.
Yeah.
So they went in 21. LSU favorable draw. I think Auburn got a pretty good draw. NC State is a good team. Stetson in Connecticut, Central Connecticut. The difference between having Stetson or Kentucky is your number 3 seed, or Stetson and Mississippi State or Oklahoma State. I think there's a pretty big drop there. I think they got a good draw. And I don't know that North Carolina certainly didn't get an easy draw, but they're playing so doggone well. So you get Oklahoma and Nebraska playing the first game. Oklahoma's got to throw Kyson Witherspoon. Once you get past him, their staff is very vulnerable. Cade Crossland and Malachi Witherspoon both have ERAs well over 5.
They're not in the tournament.
Yeah. So once you get past him, I think they have to throw against Nebraska, they shrink considerably. And I don't know that Nebraska can look. You give them kudos for going to win that tournament. They were in front of the home fans and all that stuff. To transfer that emotion and that kind of level of intensity to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, which is a pretty difficult place to play. I think North Carolina gets through that thing pretty easy.
They did the same thing last year when they took the home field advantage in Omaha and won the Big Ten tournament, or they would not have gotten in. They finished 8th in the Big Ten regular season standings. And last year they won 1 game, and that was the 3-4 elimination game against Niagara. And I expect something similar again this year. So that's and I just don't think Skip Johnson is going to pitch down. That would I could tell you who doesn't want that.
North Carolina doesn't want that at all.
And that's what you have to factor in too. Get in the mind of your opponents when you get into strategy and see, if they'd rather you use up, your hammer and not have them for a more difficult game. I mean, can they beat Nebraska with their number 2?
With Crossland? Yeah, I guess.
Would they be favored to beat Nebraska with their number 2? Pick them.
Crossland's ERA is well over 6, and I'm looking.
What would you make it? Make them a slight underdog?
I'm trying to see what the guy from Nebraska that we thought would pitch would be. Jason Brackett.
You're looking at the wrong thing. You need to look at Mr. Knapp for North Carolina, who's going to pitch in that second game.
Knapp and Witherspoon would be a great matchup. That would be a phenomenal matchup.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to get there if you're Oklahoma.
Okay, but you got no chance of beating him.
No, Crossland's not going to beat him.
You had no chance of beating him.
No, the other Witherspoon. Malachi,
so what is your better chance of winning those 2 games?
Is to pitch down. Yeah,
I mean, it's when people say, "Oh, you got to win this game," well, I mean, it takes.
It's
takes
not
a
controversial decision to pitch down. It's just not. It's too commonplace.
Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060, full service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional services, which you get. We dial 296-0060. Ashley Bonham Donald, Mariana Broussard Haynes, Adrian Riscalado, Michael Platt, Natalie and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing, nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padilla at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988. Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Heading out to Las Vegas, deep in the desert, lives one man. One man of many sports bets. The one and only Andy Isco.
Hey, Andy, how you doing, buddy? How was your Memorial Day
I'm
weekend?
doing fine, Jimmy. Hope you guys are as well.
Yeah, man. A day off for most. We worked yesterday with the selection being a big part of what we do down here with the NCAA baseball tournament. But how about the game last night? And, oh, boy, did you a lot to strategy. We talk about it a lot in college. But there was, this is what you do if you can safely inbound the ball. If you can get it in your best free throw shooter's hands, which they did with Gilgeous Alexander. But I thought a poor job on Minnesota, too, allowing when the SGA misses the second free throw with 9 seconds to go on a 3-point game to allow OKC to set up their defense. We talk about it all the time. Do you call your timeout? Do you not? Well, you can set up your play, but you're allowing the defense to set up as well. Would they have enough? Would they have had enough situational awareness to foul twice? One to give, and then one to put Naz Reid ultimately at the line. He made both two. They got it back to SGA. He made his two, and then they fouled again. And Edwards made one, missed the second one. The time runs out. Your thoughts on the end of the game, because it fell 2 and the line was 3.
Yeah, I didn't play the game last night, probably for that very reason. I had Minnesota in game 3, and of course they had that blowout win. So I sat out game 4, not knowing exactly what could happen. I thought OKC had a chance to win. The line was too low for me to take Minnesota, but I thought the Timberwolves might be able to tie this thing up. Although you're coming off an embarrassing loss, you figured OKC would play a little bit better. I can't criticize too much the end of the game because you're down. It seems every time that you scored, Minnesota would OKC would match the score, and time was so precious. I felt that if you just went and you played basketball instead of trying to set something up and see the other team do something the same, you could do something in 3 seconds as opposed to perhaps needing 5 or 6 seconds when time was so precious at that time. So I can't really criticize it, although I can make an argument for both ways.
Charlie, I made a point to replay the end of the game sequence for you and talking about Minnesota's defense, okay, where we see in college, boy, it's a battle trying to inbound the ball. We saw some games lost because they couldn't inbound the ball. So what do? Do you defend the inbounder or do you double, the key guy? They did neither.
Right.
They did neither. They're playing as if it's in the middle of the second quarter, and the guy who's guarding the inbounder is just sagging back, protecting like the lane. He's doing neither. And they allowed, SGA to get the ball. I mean, almost just automatically just hand it to him. How can you just do that and not deny him the ball?
I think at that point, you just want to be in position to have as little time go off the clock as possible before fouling.
But Andy, you don't. But the game's over then.
Well, are you talking with 9 seconds left, or
I'm talking about both times. They did it twice, and one was with 9 seconds, and one was earlier than that. Was like about 18 seconds. So
yeah, at some point, Minnesota was going to have to hit a 3.
Well. Can I make somebody else go to the line and make some pressure free throws on the road besides SGA?
At that point, I don't think yet. I think because time is so critical. I think you just have to foul as soon as you can. Not every, these guys, yeah, they're really good, but they're not 100%. They're not 90%. And the pressure is on.
Andy, I couldn't disagree with you more, buddy. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm just allowing my opponent to do what they want to do.
I'm trying to get my opponent to I'm trying to get the ball back as soon as possible, get possession of the ball as soon as possible.
All right, the road teams are 3-0 straight up in against the spread in the Eastern Conference Final. Game 4 tonight in Indiana. What you think?
I like Indiana. If you go back and saw the way that they played their first two series, they won the first two games against Milwaukee. Milwaukee got the win in Game 3, and Indiana won the final two games to win in 5. You saw a duplication of that in the following series against Cleveland, where Cleveland got that win in Game 3 after being down 2-0. Indiana closed it out with winning in the next two. I guess I could say I think whoever wins tonight's game is going to win the series, because Indiana would have blown a 2-0 lead going home, failing to protect their home court. The Knicks would have had two nice wins when they were 2 and are now at 2-1. They're one game away from being in an elimination game in the next game. So I think that this is an important game for Indiana. I think they've shown overall throughout the series that they have been the better team. I was surprised that they blew that 20-point lead in Game 3, because that's something that they hadn't really been able to do. They've been, much like New York, been able to make comebacks. Who knows who Thibodeau is going to coach, what his rotation is going to be, but I think Carlisle does a very good job in trying to get matchups.
The Knicks, Thibodeau used his bench a little bit more, and it paid off at the end. Some of his key guys had a little bit more fresh legs coming down the stretch, and they looked like they had a lot more jukes in the tank closing that thing out. But the Suns, that Barkley even talks about it on in the studio, how they went to Houston and won games 1 and 2 and still lost the series. The Suns came back and won 3 and 4, and then they held serve at home. They went at 5 and 7. Was that the Miami Heat Boston series?
What the Knicks have to do.
What's that, Andy?
Isn't that sort of like what the Knicks have to do now?
Yes, exactly. That's
a little bit different. But they get a chance to go back and regain home court advantage after being down.
It would be the same amount. Houston lost the first two at home and won the next 3 and 4 on the road, and then the home team won the last 3, and then they won at home at 7. Is that what happened in Miami and Boston just a couple of years ago? But they went to 7, but they didn't win.
Going back to that Houston-Phoenix series, what was the difference between the quality of these teams? Because I think the Knicks and Indiana are very closely matched.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Charlie, your feel on this game tonight?
I think Indiana again. I think they're the better team. They've been the better team for all but 16 minutes of this series. They were the better team in Game 1.
They've been one of the best teams in the league since the early part of January.
Yeah, so I feel like kind of like I did with the Boston Knicks series. I thought Boston was the better team, but they had way too many lapses. I don't think Indiana will have this many lapses. They were better for let's say 10 and a half quarters, and then the Knicks caught them. I don't think the Knicks catch them again.
All right. What about tomorrow night's game? You say it's hard to close out. You're going to have a lot of money on Oklahoma City minus the points at home. It's up to 8.5 now against Minnesota tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I haven't done anything with that yet. I'm not sure. I still like Minnesota as a team, but it's a bad situation. Their opportunity was, last night, playing at home. The home team, like you said, the road team was 3-0, so this is a chance for the home team to break that stretch. And, again, forget the fact that they barely covered the game. That's not what Minnesota needed to do. They needed to win the game. It's still a very big line, but the problem I have is trying to forget games 1 and 2, where Oklahoma City totally dominated the second halves of those games and made Minnesota look like a college team. So, of course, now at the same time, do you expect Randall and Edwards to have back-to-back core games like they had in Game 4? So that's the mitigating factor. So I'm going to see if I can try and do something with the total. My initial thought is to look over the total, because I do think Minnesota will be, and we know that Edwards led the league in 3 points three-point shots this year. That I would think Minnesota's going to have to play an up-tempo game, and Oklahoma City's fine with that.
Couple of Major League Baseball questions for you. So teams that maybe have hotter starts, exceeding expectations, maybe looking for them to calm down and maybe getting some value there, and some teams that have really struggled. Teams that have been hot, exceed expectations. Let's start in the National League. That's the St. Louis Cardinals. Some people thought they had a chance to maybe have the most losses in all of Major League Baseball, and that includes the Colorado Rockies. What do you think about St. Louis sort of fading them right now?
Yeah, I don't know about fading them because, we remember we're a third of the way through the season already. We've played basically 54 of the 162 games, and St. Louis has been pretty consistent. Now, clearly, that lengthy winning streak they had got them to where they're 6 games. I think it's 6 games over 500 right now. The lineup is okay. The pitching staff is okay. But I do think that they're a 500 team at best. So I would tend to look against them in certain situations. Don't know that I would look against them tonight because they're going against perhaps the second or third most disappointing team in baseball, and that's Baltimore, although the Orioles did get the win yesterday.
Well, that was my next question. Baltimore has been a major disappointment this year, but for the first time this year, they've won 3 in a row. Now, so you're certainly getting favorable prices on them. And so is that a team maybe you're looking to back?
Well, if you want to put anything onto the little 3-game winning streak, the first 2 of those games did come on the road against the division rival Boston, which is having, a pretty decent season themselves as they, are floating a little bit under 500. They were, I believe, above 500 before Baltimore started to win those 2 games. Baltimore, I'm not so sure that they have the roster right now. Morton finally pitched a decent game last night after being tattooed throughout the season, and I think that they were counting on him to provide some veteran leadership on the staff. They're still missing a couple of their pitchers that they had last year that they were counting on. So it's going to be tough because I don't know that there's really I can't say that even Tampa Bay is really a lousy team in that division. So, right now, they are where they were for quite a number of years before, 2023, I think it was.
Any other opinions in game on the in-season futures?
The in-season futures, I thought I would like Atlanta once they got past this stretch, but they're barely 500, and the odds, I think I saw them like 4-1 to win the National League East, and that's just too low because I think both the Mets and the Phillies have better balanced rosters overall. If I'm looking at a team that might have a run in them, I've liked what I've seen out of Kansas City's pitching staff throughout the season, so I think that they have a chance to win a competitive division. I don't know if Detroit can keep up the pace that they're at 35-20, although they are a good team, but I like Kansas City's pitching. And right now I continue to like Seattle as the best in the West. I still don't have a great deal of confidence in Houston. They are playing a little bit better, but I think Seattle is worth a look. And as well as the Yankees are playing, they're not dominant. I still have a lot of questions about their pitching staff. So, if you can get Kansas City or Seattle at decent odds, I haven't checked them in the last couple of days to win the American League pennant. I might give those teams a shot because I always like pitching over the course of a series to stop better hitting.
Right, Andy. Great stuff as always. Follow Andy on Twitter at VegasAndy711. Andy, good luck to you this week. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you, buddy.
You too, guys, and enjoy the start of the World Series.
All right, don't forget 8445 Segan Lane, K&M Automotive. It's the only place I take my vehicle. Segan Air Perkins, right across from Ambrosia Bakery. And you name it, man, AC repair. It's hot right now. You need an oil change. The inspection light comes on. The engine light comes on. Bring it on in. We'll tell you what's going on with the tires. You need towing, transmission services, engine, electrical services, brakes, alignment, 4x4 services, you name it. We take care of it for you at K&M Automotive. 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's the only place I take my vehicle. K&M Automotive. Tell my boy Jason Payne. You heard us talking about it right here, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports, and it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions, just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. A personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
We are lousy amateur weathermen, so we turn to the professionals. Got this tweet from Steve Caparata, a good friend over at WAFB, about the weather this weekend. First of all, the chance of rain has subsided a little bit for Friday in the last 18 hours or whatever. So it's not nearly as bad as it looked yesterday at this time for Friday afternoon. There may be some rain on Friday morning. The thing that is really eye-catching, though, is the temperatures. We have baked, cooked, sweated at regionals for years here.
You have. Yeah, sitting down the right field lawn or in the bleachers. You have, Charlie.
Listen, it's
man, that's horrible.
It's been hot.
When have you sat in the sun at a regional game?
Lots of them.
In the sun?
Yes, before I was on the crew, the media at the old box was in right behind first base. Yes, sir, Bob. Don't tell me. Absolutely. Sat there many years before I was on the crew. High of 83 on Friday. That's a cold snap, man, for this time of year.
Tell Frank as you want you spot down the right field line then.
I may be in cozier confines this Friday. Maybe in the heat. Maybe not quite so bad. First class, second class, no class to those when we come back. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710. With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC. The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Join us June 6th and 7th in Port Allen for our grand reopening celebration. Fun for the family, water slides for the kids, food, giveaways, and huge deals. Simmons Outdoor Power, 2110 American Way, Port Allen, and online at SimmonsOutdoorPower.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit ALS.org to learn more. That's ALS.org.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Buy that lunch first class.
I want a seat in first class where I was booked and ticketed over a month ago.
Second class.
No man should be subjected to the indignity of being labeled or treated like a second-class citizen.
And no class.
Life had become like school on Sunday. No class. I'll tell you what then. Why don't you call me sometime when you have no class?
First class, second class, and no class. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. Buy local with Louisiana-based Supreme Rice since 1936.
And return here at Dozy Place on Government Street in Mid-City. First class, second class, no class. I've been watching kind of from afar the stories on this team for a few weeks now, and I'm a little bit late to the party bringing it to the air, but I should have. The LSU Shreveport Pilots are 56-0.
Huh?
56-0. They are playing in the NAIA World Series in Lewiston, Idaho. And the team has already broken a 25-year-old college record for consecutive wins, and they are on the verge of breaking another one. The last game that they won, they got a big start, 7 innings with 10 strikeouts from a kid named Draven Ziegler, and I'll be honest with you, I looked up everywhere I could look for him to see if he is related to Randy Ziegler. I even called Bill Franquez, the old LSU pitcher, but I could never find anything. So I don't know if he is or not. Probably not, but the name caught my attention. Anyway, they're playing in the national semifinals tomorrow night. The all-time college win streak is set by a junior college. It's got the longest one. Is Howard College in Texas. They had 57 in a row. They can tie that tomorrow, and then if they win the national championship, they can win the record. Seen baseball at all levels, okay, all the way till the little kids in your family swinging off the tees, all the way up to the New York Yankees. 57-0 don't happen, man. 56-0 doesn't happen.
Well, you don't play that many games in high school, so that can't happen.
No, the game is not designed.
No, that's why you play 162.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not just the salaries; it's because, it's 5 games difference is like a big deal between 162 game span. I had no idea, man. Who are they playing?
NAIA teams. I don't know what their level of comp. I mean, they're beating everybody at that level. I know that. They beat yesterday. They beat Hope International, who is the defending national champion in NAIA. So that tells you anything. I can't tell you what level this is. All I know is at any level, you don't win that many games in a row.
No.
You just don't.
Never heard of that.
They played 4 games this season with a 1-score game, so they've pretty much blown out everybody.
Beating the stew out of just about everybody they play. So, hey, first class, man, you do that. You've really accomplished.
How about
30-0 in the conference.
Texas College, one of the teams in their conference.
Yeah.
One weekend they played a 3-game set with them. There were a couple 7-inning run rules there, but the final tally on the whole weekend was 94-4.
Okay, they had that group. They had that group outclassed, I would say. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention it because it's such a
Central Methodist, Louisiana Christian. Where's Louisiana Christian, Charlie?
That's the old LC. It's in Alexandria, isn't it?
Pineville.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right.
Right, just outside of
Xavier.
Just outside Alexandria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that Xavier, New Orleans?
Might be.
It says Xavier, Louisiana.
Yeah. Then.
Houston with it no O, Houston Tillotson.
Nope, not familiar with them.
The Rams. Texas Wesleyan, I've heard of them. LSU-A. Heard of them.
I know where
Texas College.
I don't know where Hope International is. They won it last year.
Okay.
Max, where's Hope International? I got nothing. Could be in Washington, could be in South Carolina,
Fullerton,
could be in Arizona.
A hotbed for baseball.
Used to be.
Well,
Cal State Fullerton was
played Our Lady of the Lake.
Okay. All right. But anyway, they're 56. Congratulations. Second class, good with a chance to be great. I don't know if this is good with a chance to be great. It just it's the commissioner of the SEC kind of flexing on the Big 12 and the ACC commissioners who last week voted for straight seeding rather than deference to conference champions and said that they were doing it for the good of the sport. Yesterday, Greg Sankey, the league meetings going on down in Destin this week, said, don't lecture me. Don't lecture me on the good of the game. We would have been fine with 4. We'll get the most teams in most years with 12. But he is pushing for a 4-bid guarantee, 4 AQs out of both the Big 10 and the SEC. And he wants the ACC and the Big 12 to have 2 apiece, and they don't like that at all. So basically what he's saying now is if you guys, keep pushing at this, well, we're going to show you what the good of the game looks like. And here's his thing. ESPN's finally come to the table with the extra money for the 9th game. That's probably going to happen, but it doesn't have to happen. It's somewhere between $50 and $80 million. So I think that's coming. But the other part of it was, without the AQs, he's saying we will lose more big-time non-conference matchups because it's not in our best interest to schedule them. Earlier this year, Nebraska and Tennessee canceled a 26 and 27 series that would have, seen a home and home in Knoxville and Lincoln. And what Sankey is saying is that if you guys just go to just the conference champion AQs and that's it, and the rest of it, not only are we going to get the most bids, but these non-conference games are probably going to become really scarce because he's gotten pushback from his athletic director saying, why should we schedule games like this? How much better would you feel about LSU's knowing what you know from last year, Jimmy? How much better would you feel about LSU's chances to make the playoffs this year if they didn't start with Clemson, instead they started with Akron?
Yeah, I mean,
you
have to get me started.
I know
you don't get as much run. You don't get as much run for the risk. It doesn't match the risk.
That's right.
The reward does not match the risk by scheduling tougher. It just doesn't. And I mean, and because you got outrage when people start talking about, they got one loss. I mean, the loss column is the most important for the selection committee. They've proven that over and over, and it just sucks, man, because we lose. People who want to watch the better teams play college football. Nobody want these slaughters. I go back to memory lane like we do from time to time, but I'll repeat myself. There was once upon a time where we said it's no way that an SEC team will schedule a SWAC team. It happens regularly, and that's as of now 10 years now
at least. Yeah.
Okay, it just so. I don't need Greg Sankey to tell me that his ADs are now telling him this, and he's going to threaten. Just do what you got to do, big boy.
Well, I think he's
lead. Don't talk. Lead.
He is leading because the negotiation is ongoing right now for the 26 playoff format. So now is the time. This is not at all unlike what Mike Slive did the year, and we were. Oh, I was at Media Days that year. I think you were too. The year that he came out and said, "Listen." We're getting out of the business of letting Northern Iowa and schools like that. He didn't say Northern Iowa, but that's what he meant. We're out of the business of letting the smaller schools dictate the revenue distribution to the bigger schools because we're the ones driving the train. That's what Sankey's saying here. The SEC and the Big Ten, and he's got a platform this week, and this just happened last week, so it's timely. It's new information. Hey, we're gonna dominate this thing. However you do it, so make it easy on yourself. It's about as demonstrative as I've seen him in quite a while. So good with a chance to be great. I hope he gets his way. Because I want to see those non-conference games, and they're more likely to schedule them if they're guaranteed 4 spots in the SEC. They're going to get them anyway. Most years, but not last year. There were 3 9-3 teams left out. No class. We have a repeat. We have a repeat recipient. Max, watching this was with Joe Rogan, right? Our friend Aaron Rodgers was sitting down. Now, he was asked a question. This, I believe, was from an audience member at the deal. It was a Saints fan, and she said,
Aaron Rodgers is still drawing audiences.
Joe Rogan's drawing audiences.
Oh, okay.
And she said, would you come and save the Saints? And he said, no, I'm not going to play for the Saints, and I don't want to live in Louisiana. Okay, that's fine. No problem. First of all, I don't think the Saints had any interest in him, and I understand why he doesn't have any interest in the Saints. That's fine. And he was pretty curt, just no. And they were like, that's it? And he's like, no, I don't want to live in Louisiana. And I don't think that's going to work. So his attitude and all that stuff, that's all happened before. My question is this. How long are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to wait on this? I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers, we're talking about one of the most stable organizations in professional sports. It's almost June. OTAs are going on. Their starting quarterback, if they had to play this Sunday, would be Mason Rudolph, who they've started before. It's not like it's the end of the world or anything. But they've been waiting on him for, 2 months at least? You're Mike Tomlin. You're the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're still waiting on this guy? Is he going to show up a week before camp and go, okay? You're going to show up a week into camp. Is he going to Egypt this summer? I'm not sure. Where's his vacation plans?
Who knows? I will say, Charlie.
Does he look like a guy that wants to play football anymore?
He spoke a little bit more clearly in this. I didn't watch any of it, but I saw some clips, and he did. There was a question from a Chicago Bears fan about would you come to Chicago, and he said, I'm not going to play there. I love my time there. He's kind of joking about, how his dominance.
They had
Chicago.
A big
but he also
edge.
mentioned, but I do think I'll be playing there. He basically alluded the Steelers go to Chicago later this year, but in November 23rd, they play in Chicago. So he almost, it was the closest as we've come to hearing him say, like, I'm going to be playing for the Steelers. That was a not so thinly veiled reference to playing for Pittsburgh. So maybe he just doesn't want to be fined in OTAs
because
or
they ruled
anything.
Minnesota out. Minnesota said no.
Perhaps there's a real handshake deal that he's just going to sign with them at some point because the Steelers haven't done anything either, have they?
Steelers have not made any move. Saints invested on a second-round pick for a quarterback. Are they still going to bring in Aaron Rodgers? Of course not.
No.
Okay. The Minnesota Vikings invested even a first-round pick last year. Okay. They're not going to get Aaron Rodgers, but the Steelers have not. And that's why it would not be in the Steelers' track record. I don't see anything in their behavior history to just sit and let this guy dictate this type of stuff. Now, our buddy who has been a contributor on our show at various times, and I know Johnny Avello, who's the odds maker for DraftKings, has put the Steelers' odds based on Aaron Rodgers being their quarterback. Their win total, their odds to win the division, odds to win the Super Bowl, all of their futures, because he doesn't want to. And that's protection as much as anything, as much of a prediction. He doesn't want to factor them with Mason Rudolph, and then Rodgers comes in and people got a good price because that did happen. In his last stop on the Jets, didn't work out, but they bet it. As soon as it was official, and some people beat them to the punch. But the sportsbooks got beat on Brady to Tampa Bay. Well, they won it, the whole thing, but they had some people, make some really sizable plays on them right before he made that move official. So, but that's the Steelers of who is it? What organization is less likely to behave like this and wait on such a prima donna, an attention hog?
Only maybe the one he left in the first place, which was Green Bay. It's the only other team I can think of. But Pittsburgh is at the top of. They don't put up with this kind of stuff. They just moved a productive headache, did they not? In George Pickens.
Yes.
Okay.
When they invested on bringing in in Metcalf.
They correct, and they moved on from a much more productive headache years ago from Antonio Brown, who at one time was the best receiver in the league. And you may go.
And you didn't hear a whole lot of that when they let him go.
No,
all most of his shenanigans, whether it was not unpublicized or not, they kind of kept him in check way more than the rest of his stops did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Including a guy like Tom Brady opened his damn house up to him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Brady was written at one point. He was written Jeter's house, wasn't he?
Something like that.
Yeah. Pittsburgh was a playoff team last year with Russell Wilson, who is toward the end of his career, and Aaron Rodgers is toward the end of his career too. But the raw numbers weren't awful last year with the Jets. I mean, do you think Pittsburgh would make the playoffs if Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback this year?
No.
They were 10-7 last year, and I think that they would be in that range. Maybe it's 9-8.
Might be not. I mean, they get into the playoffs I mean, the slides. They're not competitive in these games as well. So it's but Mike Tomlin might be on his way to Hall of Fame, and Steelers fans, for the most part, they're ready for him to go.
Their playoff streak and their winning record streak is being usurped by the amount of time it's been since they won a playoff game and the amount of time it's been since they won a Super Bowl. So I don't know.
Yeah, their history. I mean, they strive for a little bit more than let's just get to the playoffs and not be competitive.
Yeah,
that's not the Steeler way. No, that's not a win.
That's a championship winning organization, and maybe they've got it all worked out behind the scenes and they're keeping it quiet. I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't quite get the Pittsburgh Steelers waiting on Aaron Rodgers to this point. You wait on him for a little while, but come to OTAs, man.
This might have just something to do. If you remember the Jets, there was a bit of a tit for tat between Rodgers and Salah about getting fined, about going to mandatory minicamp. Right.
He went to Egypt instead.
So this might be his way around that. He's agreed to, hey, we're going to play, but don't announce me until I'm well past this.
I'll get there at the end of training camp because I don't feel like doing all of that. That's okay. We're brought to you by Supreme Rice and SupremeRice.com. Try the parboiled rice, Jimmy's favorite. Of course, jasmine is fantastic. Long grain, the medium grain, the brown rice, all from Supreme Rice. Perfect for your jambalaya festival going on. Perfect for your stews, your etouffees, your white beans, your red beans. Make it with Supreme Rice and support our Louisiana farmers. The Climate Smart program ensures that future generations will be able to take advantage of some of the things that the current generations do. They're promoting water conservation and reducing methane emissions. Look for the Climate Smart packaging or label on your packaging for Supreme Rice. You can get it all Rouse's, all your Walmarts, all of your AG food stores.
My red beans, my white beans. The great thing about that parboiled rice, I mean, it's a long grain rice, but it is packed with nutrients similar to our brown rice. So, I mean, you talk about outstanding. Get that restaurant quality of rice with the Supreme Rice parboiled enriched long grain rice. It's available in 5-pound, 25-pound, and 50-pound bags wherever you shop, where you buy your groceries.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC. The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Joe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Today's show is also brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. Because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So get with the financial advisors at Coastal Capital Advisors and about your future. Talk to them about what your position is in life, how much you can afford to contribute. They're going to tailor make a plan that is going to be perfect for you. It's going to make you able to realize those financial goals no matter what your age is. The earlier you start, the better, obviously, but they'll be able to help you out at Coastal Capital Advisors. They've done a terrific job for our family over the years. We advise you to talk to Phil Fontenot and his staff. Go to coastalcapitaladv.com, member FINRA, SIPC. We're not really in college basketball mode. There are a couple of stories that I wanted to mention here. Two big gets for teams that were, in the finals last year. Milos Uzan has pulled his name out of the draft and is going back to Houston. He was the second team all Big 12 last year, 11.5 points, 4 assists, shot 43% from three, and Houston came just an eyelash away from winning the national title. Jimmy, we were talking right after that game about what Houston was going to be able to bring back. Was this Kelvin Sampson's best opportunity at a national championship? It was, but they came up just short. Emmanuel Sharp is back. He was their second leading scorer. Tugler, the defensive player of the year in the conference, is back. They've got 3 top 25 high school recruits, including Chris Senack, who prepped at Newman before he finished up at a prep school in Missouri. And now they're going to bring Uzan back. They're going to be preseason top 3.
No. But, the big difference, they're always going to defend and rebound. All right. They're going to be as physical as you get, but 90% of the times they've been as ugly as it gets offensively. In this past year's team, they weren't a volume 3-point shooting team, but all 3 guards shot over 50%. So now you pull in two of the three back, Sharp and Uzan. What's the other kid that's going now? That
the one that left.
Yeah, the one he was their best player actually. Cryer, is it Cryer?
Yeah,
Jake Cryer.
Yeah, Cryer. So Cryer is he was the better one. He could score all over, not just a three, but Uzan, I mean, he was sort of a surprise, transferred over from I know he's from Las Vegas. I think he's from UNLV, but it was his first year at Houston, and he kind of pushed him to another notch. There was a couple of games, some big games where he was the guy carrying him. The one tournament game where he was really tough and was the guy for him on the offensive end. The recruiting class is interesting because that is a program that doesn't lean on youth and high school freshmen. But I mean, when's the last time of all their success, they're rarely up there in recruiting, and they got some guys, and top 3, top 5 class, whatever, depending on who you talk to. And we thought they were losing these guys, so it'll be an interesting blend. But somewhere along the guy, he's got a guy that didn't really play this year that's going to bang the hell out of them on defense and rebounds. It's their culture. They hang around.
Yeah.
He's got, it seems like every year, some of these forwards, some of these 6'7", 6'8" guys that they ain't going to do a whole lot offensively, but they will defend you and rebound and knock the hell out of you. And so he's got a little bit of everything. Got a little bit returning from his roster last year. This helps. He's got high school players coming in. I don't know what he has as far as incoming transfers. I'm sure he's got a couple. And, I just kind of, based on history, he's got a couple of guys on his bench that didn't play last year. They're going to give him some minutes as well.
The other big name, coming back, announced this morning, is Alex Condon at Florida. He pulled his name out of the NBA draft. He was projected as an early second-round pick last year. 13-team All-SEC, 10.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 1.3 blocks in 25 minutes per game.
I mean, here's your national champion, and when Matt Humans went to Hawaii, to Maui, and he came back, not even close who the best team in the country was. It was Auburn. And your eventual national champion took on a new level of respect and attention when they went to Auburn and bounced him the way they did. Fell behind double digits, and immediately, I remember the game was 12. Florida was getting 12. We weren't getting 12 on the moon against the Globetrotters after that. And they came back and were leading 18-20 for most of the game. I think it felt like 9 or something. But Auburn's never in it the second game. And it was that game. And the guy that was the star of that game, to me, was Condon, because they were the perimeter guys couldn't get their clean looks from 3 because they didn't double Broom. And so who's gonna hang with Janai Broom? As physical and tough as he is, he might not have the offensive skill set that the pros are looking for, but damn it, he gonna beat you, back you down and get an easy bucket at the rim. Condon held his ground, and Condon was really, and he did most of the dirty work on that side. And just because he doesn't look like this super physically imposing guy, that was as physical as an assignment as you could get, and he came through, man. He was awesome that day.
Florida and Houston maybe 1-2 in the preseason rankings next year, if not the both.
Florida's got the most coming back anyway.
Yeah, the starting center, Chin Lu is back. Thomas Hall, who was the sixth man of the year, is back. They got Xavier Lee, who was in a lot of the rankings, the top transfer guard out of Princeton. They got Boogie Flan from Arkansas. They got AJ Brown, who averaged 13 points a game for Ohio. That program has produced some pretty good guys, and then 2 top 40 guys that are freshmen. And then they got a 7-foot kid coming in from overseas. So
they're loaded, but it can't be any more clutch than Clayton Jr. was and some of those other guys. I mean, who was the guy in the Texas Tech game that hit back-to-back threes too? I mean, that was really, when they were on the ropes, he was hitting shots to keep them going. But no, they'll be number one. I think they'll be number one.
Those two teams will both be in the top 3 or 4, and
You know who's going to be up there too, and it's a little different scenario because they're maintaining some of the these. And Duke was right. The flag was so good, but these were the two best rosters. Would you think? I liked Auburn a lot too.
Duke's going to end up with what is going to be 3 lottery picks on that team last year. They have to be in that conversation. But
Flag is
well, Flag was the player of the year. There were 2 other lottery picks.
All 4 of those teams last year
sure.
were damn. I mean, they were number 1 seeds for a reason. They got there for a reason, and I mean, Auburn's got a lead in the second half against Florida. I mean, they just they were there as well, but Kentucky. And it's because he had such a late start on his roster build last year. But I think, he coached like he did at BYU, but man, he's going to build his roster knowing he's got Kentucky budget. And I mean, I think there's enough positivity in year 1 to get enough booster interest, support, enthusiasm to where he's going to. If they got another, I don't expect Arkansas to be the highest paid roster in the SEC this year. To me, that's going to be Kentucky because I think Pope they're pleased. I think they're relatively pleased with him after year 1.
Absolutely.
Okay, coming in with a kind of a little underhand, late timing, the whole thing, some legitimate, and still were very good. And then the other team is the wild card is BYU with the number 1 player.
Yeah,
and they got some other guys too because he drew some attention. They were pretty good this year. They're going to have 3 or 4 35-year-old white dudes that could throw it in, that could shoot it. So, I mean, they're kind of the wild card. They're just a non-traditional power.
They were fun to watch play last year.
They were fun.
They moved the ball.
Much better on the road than they traditionally are. Much better. That was at Iowa State that they beat.
They did beat Iowa State in Ames, and I think Iowa State lost 2 games at home the whole year.
I mean,
and think about that travel schedule for basketball. For BYU in that conference. Yikes!
So I mean, and then that coach, it was he ran a similar stuff. To the naked eye, to me, it looked like the same stuff, but it's NBA friendly.
Yeah.
He was an assistant, just with not a whole lot of college experience, and they executed it really with a lot of ball movement. A lot of real no real ISO slow it down type of stuff. It was really fun to watch last year. Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows. Just your homeowners association require wood windows in your neighborhood like mine. Well, you got to give my friends over at Relief Windows a call at 288-8138. Vinyl windows, storm impact windows, wood windows. We got them all. You can view all of our windows at reliefwindows.com. But great thing about it is it's always that battle between the builder and the architect. Architect wants everything to look good. The builder wants everything to last, and it's durable, and it's functional. Well, you get the best of both worlds with this because my windows from Relief Windows, they're fun. When we do get that cool snap, man, I love opening up, get the fresh air rolling, but close them, and then they look good. They're functional, and they last. Snow to the heat, to the rain, you name it. South Louisiana weather conditions are as rough as they get. So don't do like I did and just get some standard wood windows. You better get those Auralast gel-wind windows that come with a 20-year general warranty and a lifetime limited warranty against rotten termites, providing you years of beauty and minimal maintenance. Relief Windows, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 288-8138.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Henniger for Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. This is Charles Henniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And the wingle travels down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Sound Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Sound Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Return here at Doe's Live at Lunch. So we talked at the top of the show about the bracket. We talked about Little Rock and how far down they are. Rhode Island is the lowest RPI of the 3 seeds. The biggest competition obviously comes from Dallas Baptist, a 2 seed. It's got an RPI 20. So, the reputation for Dallas Baptist is heavy offensive group, and that's still the case here. They're in the top 25 in the country in runs scored. Grant Jay, we saw him back in the game in February. He's one of the best hitters in college baseball, 19 home runs, 322 average. They got another kid out in center field, Nathan Humphreys, who's got 17 home runs. And they've got 4 guys who are got an OPS better than 1,000. So the hitting is in place.
I want to talk. I mentioned it talking to Todd yesterday, Walker, about that as well. Because he grew up and he's not far from that program, and his son plays in state as well, Houston Christian. But they're no stranger. I don't know how long they've been doing it. Seems like about 15 years or so. I think we go back to maybe they've made 12, 13 of the last 15 regionals. Never been to Omaha. Been to a super once or twice.
They've even hosted.
But part of it's just so they're hitting heavy, they're pitching light every year. And so you wonder, it is a little bit ballpark produced. Their home park.
Sure.
Yeah, it makes sense, so just how much will that transfer here? There's still, though, that's the strength of their team.
It's 11 straight tournaments, and
Wow, 11. Damn.
11 straight, and 13 of the last 14 since making their first one back in
How many
2008.
SEC teams are going to 11 straight?
The longest streak in the country belongs to Vanderbilt, which I think is at 19, and LSU is tied for second at 13. So it's pretty close.
So
I'm trying to remember
handful at best, huh?
Trying to remember who they were tied with. Give me a second, and I'll think. It might be Arkansas. That are tied at
Florida
at 13. It might
be Florida.
Might be Florida. But that's a lot for sure.
Yeah.
The pitching, they've got a couple of guys that have been up at the top of the rotation since Bucknam left. We talked about Bucknam at the top of the show. Michael Bucknam was a relief pitcher on LSU's 2023 team. He pitched a little bit. I want to say it was somewhere around 17, 18 innings. And he was their ace for most of the season. Early in the month of May, he went out. He's been out for 3 weeks. He came back in the tournament, and he threw 3 perfect innings. So expect to see him at some point this weekend. They're also getting back Luke Pettit. That's Andy Pettit's son, is pitching for them. He's right-handed, not left-handed like that. But he was the Coosa Freshman of the Year last year, and he is coming back. The question you get mostly about Dallas Baptist from people that follow the sport closely and those that don't is, who have they played? Well, their strength of schedule is 44. LSU's is 36. This is not this is not just a team that's run up against a bunch of no names. They played LSU in a non-conference game. They split a pair of games with TCU. They took 2 of 3 from UTSA, and we've talked about what a great year the Roadrunners have had. They took 2 games from Oklahoma. In fact, they beat the snot out of Oklahoma. They beat them 11-0 and 9-1. Again, these are not weekend games where you're seeing Kyson Witherspoon, but still, all Oklahoma's hitters were there. They scored 1 run in 18 innings. They lost a game to Oklahoma. That's why they split 2 games with Oklahoma State. And then they've also got Q1 wins against 3 of them against Jacksonville State, who just gets in under the wire. So against Q1 and Q2, they're 15-11. That's just a little under half their schedule is against pretty good baseball teams. So don't let the name fool you. Oh, they haven't played anybody. No, they've played people, and they've beaten people, and the RPI is reflective of that. Are the offensive numbers a little bit inflated because of the park? Yes, I think that's fair. But make no mistake, this group can come in here and win this regional. This is not a weak. It may be a weak overall regional when you factor in the low RPIs of Rhode Island and Little Rock. This is a legitimate 2 seed. This is right at the top of a lot of the 2 seeds as far as RPI goes. I mean, if they're
25,
20, they're 20.
20. Oh, 20.
They're 20.
Okay. Yeah.
So
we started 17.
Yeah. So this is a very, very good.
With top 16 RPIs didn't get a host.
Top 16 RPIs that didn't get
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I think everybody did.
Well, you looked that up. Florida has set there's not counting the COVID year.
Yeah, not counting the COVID year.
Florida 17, Arkansas 8 straight.
It was 8 straight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They had that one bad year. That's right.
I mean, so you're talking about 3 teams have made it to as many consecutive tournaments as Dallas Baptist?
Out of the SEC, yeah.
Because none of the others, huh? State missed and Ole Miss missed. And
I don't think so, no. Arkansas would have been another guess, and I forgot about Vandy's got the lead. LSU last missed in 2011. So, yeah, that's about right. All right, one top 16 team did in the RPIs is not a host. That's Alabama, replaced by Southern Miss, who is 19. So yeah, this is
it's pretty
This is a very good team.
Who did they play non-comp? I mean, Nolan also shared with us when it was close, they pulled their weekend guys to solidify that win, close out that win. Well, you can't, hey, that's that they know that game. They don't have many Texas RPI top 5 RPI teams on their schedule.
No, not
so. They got to if they're in position, they got to finagle things a little bit.
Their best win of the season is against TCU. They had 2 wins against Oklahoma, 1 against Oklahoma State, and The other three Q1 wins are Jacksonville State, which is not going to impress anybody, but they were a top 60 RPI team this year. Dallas Baptist swept that series on the road pretty convincingly. They won all 3 games pretty convincingly.
Ole Miss Rebels have been a 1-0 row.
We had to retire the joke, man. We had to retire the joke.
I thought we'd hear
Ole Miss at home again.
Yeah, I had to retire that.
That's the greatest. Huh? That's a great one.
Did the Mississippi State fans come up with that, or did they come from
I don't know.
somewhere?
I heard it and I grabbed it. Grabbed it and ran. What, Max?
I thought we'd hear more from Mincy. They had a Ole Miss individual men's golf champion yesterday. Michael Lasasso.
Mincy's helping T-Bob get moved in.
Oh, jeez.
He's got cardboard boxes. He's helping him unpack.
T-Bob's wife is like, "Come on, man, when's this guy going to leave?"
he's gonna move in. I tell you what, Ole Miss is regional in Oxford. I wouldn't want to see Georgia Tech as a 2. They can swing it, man. And with Danny Hall going out, you're playing with some emotion. You got to play somebody, but that's a pretty good team.
I tell you what, they hit some shots, bro. That were monster shots in that ACC tournament. And they were going up against that BC team that was the one. They were the single elimination. They were in their 3rd game after an extra inning game and another very tight game. That was they were as light as pitching they could be, for like a 10, 11, 12 seed, whatever the hell they were. And I mean, they hit some rocket shots. But let's be fair. They won a very good league, but they missed both North Carolina and Florida State, who were by far the class of the league.
And they lost
It's
3
not
out
even close.
And they lost 3 out of 4 to Clemson, who was the next best team in the league. So
yeah, Clemson beat them in that semifinal game.
And they won the regular season series.
That North Carolina Charlie's got a shot. They're hitting the ball well.
Yeah.
They certainly are a good program, but they got a hammer as an ace, man. I was really impressed. Watched that Florida State. It was a Thursday night game. I think it was very late in the season. It was him versus Jamie Arnold. And, man, he shoved it down Florida State's throat, boy.
I love their draw. He did. They beat them. I love the way they're playing right now. They've got a definite home field advantage. LSU knows about that. They went there last year. They get as a 2 seed and 3 seed Oklahoma and Nebraska. We talked about this. Oklahoma's got to use Kyson Witherspoon. It drops off dramatically after that in their rotation. Nebraska rode the home field and the momentum in Omaha to the Big Ten title. They would not have been in the tournament otherwise. And in the 4 seed is Holy Cross. And if they win that, they would host most likely Oregon. You got to make the cross-country trip. I mean, Oregon's a good team, but that's a heck of a draw to have to go into North Carolina. I think the Heels are better. So, yeah, if I could get odds on anybody outside. What's the odds on North Carolina to win the title right now, Max?
Probably about 25 to 1.
Oh, then no,
I've seen lower.
No, I want to say there's something like 9 or 8
or 9. No, they got to be.
I think
10
they're
to
like
1 when I looked at
10.
Yeah, they're right in there. I thought it was like plus 900 when I saw it.
Plus 950.
Yeah,
at the Queen.
They're good, and they got a nice
Tennessee Vols.
They got a nice draw.
Also,
how many times they've been? What's their streak? Tournament appearances.
I don't know what their streak is, but they won the.
Well, that's what we're talking about, Charlie.
Well, I don't know. They won the World Series last year.
Okay, that's one.
Tennessee.
Don't look it up.
I don't know.
I guess, dude. I mean, are you?
Vitello's been there for about 6 years, so I'm going to say 6 years.
Very good.
Okay. And I did it without looking it up.
Now, doesn't that feel more rewarding?
It does.
Yes.
It does. I want to be rewarded. I want to go to the Thibodeau store, man. Go to the Thibodeau store. You need to go buy me something.
I'm going.
Buy me something.
Because look, if I'm waiting on my son for a really good Father's Day.
Oh, I got to send him the link. I got his number. I was saying, buy Dad something.
Bro. Good. Listen, I mean,
he's working now. He's working this summer.
Okay,
you got a little cash.
Yeah, here's my parlay. Okay, Little Rock to make it to the College World Series, and Ethan's gonna give me something worth a damn for Father's Day. Okay, give me the odds. Give me the odds on that, Max. Is that plus 950?
No, not quite.
Man, I love it, bro. You got to go, and just take Dad. or go get something, man. Get them a gift card. Go down there, take it for a ride. Man, it is if your dad likes to outdoor cook, whether it's the outdoor kitchen at home, whether it's tailgating for the fall, whether it's the Jambalaya Festival, whether it's any type of on-site cooking that you're trying to do, man, you will love the Thibodeau store. Man, it is hog's heaven for outdoor chefs like myself. Go by and check it out. The green egg with all the accessories. You got the burners for all the seafood boils, for the outdoor burners for like a single burner, double burner, triple burners. If you want to fry your fish on site, you name it, man. Turkey fryers, oilless and the regular. So just go by and check it out. All kinds of gadgets, man, that scoop for your crawfish boil exactly, about that 3.5, 4 pounds. So you get a tray. It's about right at one tray. So you can let the rest of the pot soak because you don't want to take them out so early for the women and children. The Thibodeau store. Tell them where it is, Charlie.
900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau and online doitbest.com/Thibodeau store. Live at lunch from Doe's. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day.
Whenever you're ready, Jordan.
All right. It's rolling.
This is Charles Sandegriff. Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Snow Seafood and Steak on Airline Highway in Gonzales. Randy McKay joins us along with Scott Rabelais from The Advocate and Wes Reynolds from Beeson. Live at Lunch from Snow's in Gonzales, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
In an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem. Whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious, no criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of OC Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steak, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Got a new podcast out this morning with odds for the regionals. Max Sports Bettors Paradise.
Yeah, College Sports Rush. You can look it up wherever you get your podcast. That's out on the podcast feeds. But look up College Sports Rush YouTube channel. Subscribe while you're there. That video will be loading in just about an hour or so.
We gave each picks on not only the winners of regionals, but also some of the game ones, which some of those lines are trickling out here this morning. Thanks to the folks at Doe's Eat Place for being our host every other Tuesday here in the Crown Town Room on Government Street here in Mid-City. Come by for a great lunch, a wonderful steak, and a casual atmosphere. We always enjoy our time here at Doe's. Tomorrow, where it snows in Gonzales for Jimmy and Max. Jordan back in the studio. I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the stores.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thank
Nice
you,
and
Jordan.
easy day.